Okay, what's up, family? This is day 2 of my video blog. So day 2 of 90. And I originally was going to do this video, in my nice work clothes, and I was going to be in my office, and it just didn't work out. We ended up, I had a great day, busy day, but I just want to share some things with you. First of all, I wanted you to know I'm staying accountable to you. I told you yesterday I was going to figure out what the other 2 books were that I was going to read. So remember, I've got my history book, which is John Adams. I've got my novel, which is 1984. And then I decided my business book is going to be David and Goliath, which is by Malcolm Gladwell, business book. And then the other book is Man's Search for Meaning. I'm already reading 1984, right smack dab in the middle of it, so that's good. What I wanted to share, I'm going to do a brief version of it today, and I think I'm going to spend more time on it on Saturday, because I wanted to talk. I had a great conversation tonight with a guy, a friend of mine, and he is an MBA student. And we were talking about corporate America, and we were talking about the fact that most people think you go to school so that you can get a job, so that you can go to corporate America, and then you have to work for somebody else, build somebody else's dream, all while making just enough money to be just over broke and have not quite enough money to be able to retire. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, seriously, think about it. We go to high school to get good grades so that we can impress teachers that we hate and kids that we'll never talk to again, so that we can go to colleges where we run up a bunch of debt to get more good grades for professors that we don't like, that we have to impress, so that we think we can get a good job and go work for an employer that we don't like at a job that we hate, just so we can make enough money to hopefully put a little bit back for retirement. And to me, it just seems pointless. It's kind of insane, but it's what we do. That is financial America. The American dream today is completely different than what it used to be. You want to know what it used to be? Do you know what the original retirement plan was? The original retirement plan in this country, it wasn't a freaking 401k, and it wasn't an IRA, and it wasn't anything like that. What it was the family farm. You'd get land, you'd work by the sweat of your brow, and there was this concept that is gone from American society called self-reliance. Nobody knows what self-reliance is anymore. Self-reliance has completely gone out of really the entire American lexicon, and especially when it comes to corporate America, and especially when it comes to going to the university and then going to get in a job that you hate for not enough money with a boss that you don't like, in hopes that you have just enough money to spend till you die. It's not it, guys. Self-reliance was having the family farm. That was the original retirement plan. So what happened to America? Where did we go? If you look at history, you look at Revolutionary War times, the original retirement plan, who we were, what we stood for, Declaration of Independence. We had principles that we believed in. If you look at the entire 1800s, we really had, during the 1800s, you had the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution was powerful for a lot of ways, and it provided a lot of good things to society. But think about what started to happen during the Industrial Revolution. People began to get off of the family farm and be lured into working with employers for benefits, for money, and they got off the family farm and they started working for somebody else and building somebody else's dream, because the factories and industry required employees. So that happened all through the 1800s, and then in the 1900s, early 1900s, it's believed that the Industrial Revolution ended. The first Model T rolled off the line, I think, in 1907, and we entered this new era. The current definition of retirement really started to take place and form. Okay, in the 60s, what did you do? You went and got a good job, and you had an employer that would give you a pension, and that pension meant that you could have enough money for retirement. You also would use something like Social Security, and the era of the pension died. See, what happened was companies couldn't make it sustainable, and as a business person, it drives me bonkers to think that I would have to put money away from your production today just so I could pay you later when you're no longer producing for my company, just to give you a big, hey, how are you? High five, thanks for being you. And you know what? I would rather pay you for production and then teach you principles so that you could take care of yourself come retirement. Well, that just isn't the case for most people, and it wasn't the case during the era of the pension. The era of the pension said, I'm going to go to work for somebody else. They're going to take care of my retirement. We started putting money into Social Security. Social Security is going to take care of my retirement. And because this era of the era of the employee turned into the era of somebody else is in charge of my financial life, and that led into the era of the 401k, because what happened was companies couldn't fund pensions because it's just not a viable business option. It just plain and simple doesn't work. And so the government, of course, felt like they had to put their stupid noses in it. And so they made this little portion of the tax code. Well, there was ERISA that came around, and I think in the late 60s, early 70s, and ERISA started to put some things in motion. And the government basically said, hey, we're now going to make sure that your retirement is taken care of. We're going to include this little thing in the tax code. It's called a 401k, and the 401k is designed for you to put money into, and so on and so forth. You know, employers realized that the 401k, they realized it for what it was, which was a tax break for big business. It was never meant to benefit the employee. The government thought it was supposed to benefit the individual, but businesses looked at it. And by the way, I'm a fan of big business in a lot of ways, but I just sharing this with you to be blunt and honest. It was a tax break for big business, and now employers realize I don't have to rely on a stupid pension. What I can do, which is awesome, what I can do is I can turn over your financial life to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this money in this 401k. It's going to give me a tax break, and then I'm going to tell you, you've got to decide what your retirement's going to look like. So you've got this 401k, but I want to wash my hands of you. Here, you decide what it's going to go into. I don't want to deal with you anymore. That was the purpose of the 401k. The 401k was just a stupid piece of the tax code that was never meant to retire anybody. It was a break for big business. But what's happened ever since then? Well, think about it. Now it's evolved into believing that the American dream is go to school, get a job at the place you hate for the boss that you hate, spending all this money on an education that you really don't need to succeed. And then you're going to put money into a 401k, and you're going to throw it all at the stock market and hope that it does just good enough for you to be able to retire. Guys, it's completely insane, but that is what we do in this country. We have shifted from a place of self-reliance to, hey, employers, hey, will you take care of me? Will you give me a pension? And will you take care of me? Thank you. To employers saying, no, I don't want to deal with you. And the government saying, oh, hold on, this thing doesn't work anyway. So you know what? Hey, 401k, throw some money in it, but it's up to you. You figure it out. And then we as Americans, we go, well, I could pick the moderate growth or the conservative growth. Guys, think about it. We are putting all our eggs in one basket, and the basket belongs to somebody else. What we do financially is we forfeit financial control over to everybody else. And by doing that, we forfeit our ability to command our financial future and our destiny. This is a country that was founded on a set of principles. It was founded on principles like self-reliance. It was founded on principles like I'm the one that's going to command my own financial future. I don't forfeit my money to somebody who doesn't care about me, to a market that is no respecter of persons. I'm not going to do that. That's not my journey, and it shouldn't be yours. Guys, there's only one person. Do you want to know what will fix financial America? Everybody put your finger up and then point it back at your chest. If we were willing to take back financial control of our lives, and we were willing to no longer be a part of the era of the employee, but be a business owner. This is why part of these 90 days, I want to help 50 people start their own businesses. And I've got some turnkey ways and some turnkey systems and some turnkey businesses that are plug and play where you can get going right away. That is what this country is about. It is about being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, commanding your own financial future, getting back to the principles of self-reliance and caring about yourself, and understanding that the only way this country gets fixed financially is if each one of us is willing to make tough financial decisions in our lives, to do what's in our best interest and our family's best interest, and understand that we will only make money if we seek to serve other people. The key to wealth is providing significantly more value than you ask for in return. If you're willing to do that, if you're willing to find a way to provide tremendous value for other people, you will receive value in return. Make that your priority. Be self-reliant by choosing to serve someone else, by choosing to start a business, being self-reliant, commanding your own financial destiny and changing your own financial stars, and making a decision to be a business owner, be an entrepreneur, be self-reliant, and then plug into systems that exist so you can create success by serving other people and creating value. All that's going to do is get value coming right back to you. So this is the end of day 2. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to expand on this concept a lot more in the future, but I hope that you understand a little bit of the evolution of how we've come from a place of self-reliance, the family farm being the original retirement plan, going all the way through the era of the employee and completely forfeiting financial control and our hope for a retirement over to people that are completely out of our control. It's insane financially, but so many of us do it. So guys, let's make a choice today to be different, to do something different. Together we could change the world. It's one video at a time, one day at a time, one tiny decision at a time. I hope the decision today is to do something a little bit different as a result of this conversation than you would have otherwise. So guys, remember, I love to say this, you can't own success, you can only rent success, but rent is due every day. Did you pay today? Take care, everybody. Peace. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.